So things are going well here in Salem. We've actually just got done with the jamboree. Um, Kids have been working hard for a full year now. I mean, a lot of time to pay off, and it's time for things to get going.
Well, I appreciate you doing the Zoom for me because I wanted to come out there. My plan, I pitched it. I was like, we go Marshfield, Waynesville, and then swing around to Salem. The problem was Lebanon turned out to be our game of the week this week. So we have to swing back around to do interviews there, which took us west. And I was like, ah. So I just wanted you to know I appreciate that. We tried to get out there to see you guys.
Well, I appreciate it. Getting as much coverage as we can is always a good thing. So
Absolutely. You guys are in a funny spot there, like in between us Springfield and St. Louis, and we don't. I
no,
never
no
want you
man's
guys.
land.
I know, right? Yeah. Well, Coach, I think it speaks really well of you. In your second year, you have all these returners coming back. I know the record wasn't what you wanted it to be, but you must be excited to have all these guys back, huh?
I am excited. The record was not what we wanted it to be. We did, however, get a bunch of experience for sophomores, and that was last year. So I think at one point we had 14 sophomores starting for us,
Wow.
and we kind of knew that we were going to have to be getting kids ready for that season and the following year. We were just a young team last year, and we're still a young team. We're a very heavy junior laden team, so uh, it worked out well for us, I think.
That's exciting too. That 3-year build that you're working on here. I mean, not that you're thinking about next year, but it's got to be pretty fun to know that you've got time with this group to really mold them the way you want them to be, huh?
It's been a really good adventure. The kids have taken on to it very, very well. You could tell that's something they want. They've bought into the program, the process. They've gotten into it. They're holding each other accountable. They're holding themselves accountable. It's actually becoming a good process, and it's been good for us here at Salem.
So, talk about what would you say you want the team's identity to be here in year two?
Well, I think the identity is kind of the same as what we've wanted since we got here, and that was let's ground and pound. The kind of the saying we always talk about is 3 yards, cloud of dust. We want a defense that's going to fly around, hit people, be where they need to be, doing what they're doing, and that's really the idea of what we want. We want kids that are tough, mean, gritty, and they're running around, flying around, hitting people, making plays where they need to make them.
Awesome. Tell me some of the guys the specific players here that you're going to be relying on this season.
Well, you look, we've got quite a few that are two-way players. Toby Gover is a senior for us. He's going to be playing a D tackle slash fullback for us. We've got Everett Campbell, Gavin Sapal going to be defensive ends, both tight ends for us as well. Ruben Hovey is returning off of a knee injury that we didn't get to utilize him last year. So I'm excited to see what he brings back to the table. We've got some younger kids playing as well. We've got some other sophomores and some juniors that are stepping in. Defensively, backfield wise, we got a free safety and a cornerback that are both sophomores. So that will pay off with us, along with a senior in Evan Mendenhall.
So, I mean, when you put together like the sophomore laden team last year, you obviously knew that that was going to be a challenge to
Mm-hmm.
really, have them going up against seniors. What's it like seeing a group like that come in to the weight room in the off season and come in, you know, in the summer here, getting ready for the season, and they're bigger and they look like they could do more.
Well, doing that last year, obviously the concern you have is one, are they going to show back up? Because going against seniors and juniors that have played for a year or two, that experience pays dividends for teams. And so that was one concern. But I'll tell you what, these guys all showed back up in the summer. We had a very good turnout in the summer. We were averaged right around that 40-person mark. So for us, that was good with or not new hires, but new guys coming in, along with our guys that were existing. So they came in, they worked hard all summer long. We expected a lot more of them than what I think they've been had for expectations for a while now. So these kids were involved for all summer with weights, and then they were in the spring. That wasn't something they had 2 years ago. But they come in and you see them getting bigger, you see them getting faster, you see them getting stronger, you see the good things that are coming. But I think the biggest thing that we saw was the overall unity within the team and that culture changing. And that has been one of the biggest proponents for how I think we're going to be better off this year.
What are you going to consider signs of progress this year? What do you want to see from your team?
Well, we've got to see some offense. That would be a first. We didn't have much of an offense. Not having much of the offense put a lot on our defense last year. When defense is on the field 80% of the time, there's not much success going to be bred in that category. A lot of reps, but not a lot of success. So I want to see the team atmosphere from them more than anything. I want them to feel like a family. We're seeing that early on. Obviously, when adversity hits, how are we going to handle that, and how are we going to be prepared for that? So as we see that happen, that'll be good. But really nailing down who we are and identifying who we are offensively and being proud of that.
Coach, anything I didn't ask you about your team you wanted to mention here?
I just think it's going to be an exciting year for us. You definitely answered or asked some great questions. I think the boys are excited, so I'm excited to see where it takes them from here and how much they thrive off of being around each other as much as they have been.